Hi friends, good morning. Let's talk about the latest of the Iran-US war. As of April 22nd, 2026, the war between the United States, Israel and Iran is currently in a state of a fragile and indefinitely extended ceasefire, though tensions remain critical due to an ongoing naval blockade. President Trump announced on April 21st that the 2 week ceasefire would be extended indefinitely to allow more time for diplomatic negotiation. It has been reported that this was at the behest of Pakistan, who has been in touch with the Iranian army and the government there. President Trump has heeded to this advice and has extended the ceasefire. Despite the truth, the U.S. Navy continues blockade of Iranian ports and the Strait of Hormuz remains largely shut to global shipping. Iran has condemned this blockade as an act of war and piracy. It should be noted that during the past few days, tension has escalated because America has seized one of the ship, while Iran has also fired drones and missiles on U.S. assets. So while Pakistan is racing to bring both sides to the table for a second round of talks, Iranian officials remain wary, stating that they will not negotiate under the shadow of threats or the current naval blockade. Military commanders in Tehran have warned that any renewed hostile action will be met with a decisive response. It looks that in Iran, the IRGC has taken over the government and is now calling the shots because the government, led by its foreign minister, was rather biased towards a peaceful solution with the United States, but the IRGC is in no mood to accede, at least as of now. And therefore, Iran has yet to formally respond to the US President's announcement about the extension of the 2 week ceasefire, which was due to end on Wednesday and has been now extended. Trump also said that he has directed US forces to continue to blockade Iranian ports. Iran has set a key condition for entering talks, insisting that the blockade on its ports must be lifted before any negotiations can begin. Interestingly, while President Trump has announced an indefinite extension of the current ceasefire on April 21st, the diplomatic visit to Islamabad was called off shortly after due to various reasons. In fact, Vice President J.D. Vance's planned trip to Pakistan for a second round of peace talks with Iran has been indefinitely cancelled. J.D. Vance is currently remaining in Washington only for additional policy meetings, while Pakistani officials like Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif continue to push for renewed dialogue. No new dates have been announced for Vice President J.D. Vance's visit to Pakistan. Therefore, the future of the war remains highly uncertain as both sides prepare for the possibility of renewed combat while navigating a stalled diplomatic process. No surprise then that President Trump has again started threatening Iran with lots of bomb and will start, he said that will start going off if no deal is reached. So US is basically using a carrot and a stick sort of approach, while it's also talking about a peaceful diplomatic solution. It's also showing a stick to Iranian and warning it of dire consequences if it doesn't agree to a peaceful solution. Iran has also threatened to break the US naval blockade by force and has warned that any neighboring countries helping the US could see their own oil infrastructure destroyed. So the situation in Iran and between the Iran and US is hanging on a very delicate threshold where anything can happen anytime. There is, of course, a remote possibility of a peaceful second round of talks. But any unfortunate attack or damage to any of the ship or any personnel there can jeopardize the whole process, and the war can escalate to certainly to a new level. So let's hope that something good comes out of this. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.